Something is finally going well with someone. They text back fast. They hold your gaze a beat too long. They're starting to really see you. And right there, at the exact moment it gets good, you feel it, the quiet pull to step back. So you get a little busy. You answer slower. You find the one small flaw and let yourself stare at it until it grows. You don't decide to do any of this. You just watch yourself do it and feel the distance open like a window you didn't mean to leave cracked. And you can't explain it because it makes no sense. You wanted this. You've wanted this for years. You lie awake feeling lonely, and then someone gets close enough to fix it, and something in you quietly bars the door. What kind of person does that? Here's what almost nobody tells you. You are not afraid of love. You are not cold, and you are not broken. You're afraid of what closeness has cost you before. That is a completely different fear, and the difference changes everything about what to do next. You didn't choose this. Somewhere back there, your body learned that letting people all the way in was dangerous. So it built something to keep them at a safe distance. Not out of cruelty, out of protection. Picture a house in winter, warm and lit from the inside. That's you, and you want people in. But on the front of that house is a storm door, and its latch is broken in one specific way. It locks itself. The moment someone climbs the porch steps, the latch clicks shut on its own. You're standing right there on the other side of the glass, waving them in, meaning it completely. And they're pulling a handle that won't move, watching you not open it. That's what pushing people away actually is. Not a locked heart, a latch with a mind of its own. You're not the one turning it. It was installed after a storm, and it's still bracing for weather that stopped a long time ago. And it works faster than you do. By the time you notice the pullback, the click has already happened. The latch lives in the same deep system that yanks your hand off a hot stove. Under thought. Ahead of choice. You can't argue with a reflex that already fired. A researcher named Mary Ainsworth watched this exact thing happen in babies. In her experiment, some infants barely reacted when their mother left the room or came back. Calm, independent, unbothered. But their heart rates told the truth. Inside, they were in distress. They hadn't stopped needing her. They just learned to aim the need inward, where it couldn't be disappointed. Your latch learned the same trick. So here's the first thing the latch looks like. It clicks hardest right when things get good. The relationship deepens. They say something tender. They start to really rely on you or you on them. And instead of warmth, you feel a strange urge to run. You pick the fight. You go quiet. You suddenly remember every reason this won't work. The closer it gets, the louder the alarm. From the outside, it looks like commitment issues. It isn't. It's a body that learned closeness is the exact moment right before it gets hurt, slamming the brakes the second it feels the road go smooth. The second thing is quieter, and it shows up when they leave. Plans get canceled, and under the small disappointment, there's a wave of something lighter. The evening is your own again. They go home, and you feel yourself finally exhale. You wanted them there. You did. And you're relieved they're gone, and you hate that you're relieved. That relief isn't proof you don't care. It's proof of how much closeness costs you. Being near someone means holding the door against the latch the entire time. Of course, you exhale when the effort ends. You've been bracing the whole visit. The third one looks like strength, which is why nobody worries about it. You need no one. You have people, friends, maybe a partner, a full phone, but everyone gets the same warm, edited version of you, kept at a careful depth. You handle things alone. You don't ask. You'd rather carry it then owe it. I'm fine, leaves your mouth before you've even checked. The world calls that independent and rewards you for it. But look closer and it's the latch again, wearing self-reliance as a disguise. A person who never needs anyone never has to watch a door slam. And the fourth is the one that hurts the people who stay. You leave first. When something feels too good, part of you starts waiting for it to end. So you get ahead of it. You pull back before they can. You test them, going cold to see if they chase, picking at the thing to see if it holds. Some part of you would rather end it by your own hand than be left by theirs. It feels like control. It's really just fear moving first. You break the thing you wanted most, so that at least the breaking belongs to you. And then you point at the wreckage as proof that closeness never works out anyway. If you're seeing yourself in these, that's not a verdict, it's a pattern. And a pattern this consistent was built to protect something real. If this is landing, take 1 second to like this video. It tells the algorithm to show it to someone else who's been standing behind their own locked door, waving people in. So where does a latch like this get installed? Nobody is born guarding the door. Watch a small child reach for the people they love. No hesitation, no editing, arms just up. Somewhere between that child and you, something taught the door to lock itself. Usually one of 3 things. The first root is this. Closeness once came with a price you couldn't afford. Maybe love in your house came tangled with something else. You got close, and suddenly you were responsible for someone's moods. Or being loved meant being watched and managed and absorbed until there was no you left over. Closeness didn't feel like warmth. It felt like disappearing. So the latch learned a rule. Let them all the way in, and you lose yourself. Distance wasn't rejection. It was the only way you'd found to stay a whole person. The door locks to keep a little of you back. The second root is about who was supposed to stay. Maybe the people you counted on were there and then gone. Warm on Tuesday, cold on Wednesday, and you never knew which one you'd get. You reached, and sometimes they were there, and sometimes your hand closed on nothing. A child in that house learns fast. A door that might slam is a door you keep one hand on at all times. You didn't stop wanting them. You just stopped trusting the doorway. Better to hold it half shut yourself than to let it swing all the way open and get slammed. The third root explains why the latch catches everyone, even the ones you want most. Here's the mechanical truth. The latch can't tell who's on the porch. It doesn't check whether this person is safe, whether you've waited years for them, whether you love them. It knows one thing only: someone is getting close. And it does the single job it was built to do. It locks. That's why you push away the very people you most want to keep. Not because you don't want them, because the door doesn't distinguish. The same latch that kept out what once hurt you keeps out everything warm now. One mechanism. Everyone held at the same careful arm's length. Which means the distance you're worried about is not proof that you're unlovable or that some part of you doesn't want love. It's proof the latch is still doing its old job in a house where the storm is long over. And a latch that's only doing its job can be slowly taught a new one. So here's the first thing to actually do. Learn to feel the latch click without obeying it. The next time closeness makes you want to pull back, the urge to cancel, to go cold, to find the flaw, stop and name it, that's the latch. Not a fact about them, not a real reason to run. Just the old reflex firing on schedule. You are allowed to feel the click and keep your hand on the door anyway. That pause is the whole thing. It's the first gap you've ever put between the reflex and the retreat. You don't have to force the door open, you just have to stop letting the latch decide for you every single time. The second principle is how you actually retrain it. Small doses. Stay a little longer. You can't fling the door open and white-knuckle your way into intimacy. The latch only slams harder. Instead, let people in by inches. Stay 5 more minutes when you want to leave. Send the honest text instead of deleting it. Let one person a little further in than feels comfortable, and then let the discomfort pass without acting on it. Each time closeness doesn't cost what the latch predicted, your system files a new piece of evidence. This is how the old rule gets rewritten, not by force, by repetition, small, survivable proof that the door can open and nothing burns down. The third principle takes the door out of hiding. Tell one person it's there. The whole pattern runs in secret, which is exactly what makes it read as rejection. To the person on the porch, your pullback just looks like they stop mattering to you. So say it out loud to someone safe. When I go quiet, I'm not gone. I'm bracing. Give me a minute and stay. That one sentence changes everything. It turns a mysterious withdrawal into something the two of you can see together. Now your silence isn't a slammed door in their face. It's a latch you're both learning to work, and you are not the only one holding it anymore. And the fourth principle is the deepest one. You don't pry the door open. Safety opens it. The latch loosens when your system finally believes the storm has passed. And that belief isn't built by forcing yourself to be vulnerable on command. It's built by being around people you don't have to brace against. A pace you can trust. Closeness that, again and again, quietly turns out not to hurt. Do that long enough, and one day you'll notice the door was already open before you decided to open it. And it does open. That's the part worth holding on to. The latch was never the end of your ability to be close. It was your capacity for closeness, kept behind glass, waiting for whether it could trust. People who come back from this don't turn into different people. They become the person who was always standing there in the warm light, finally able to let someone in. You were never cold. You were never afraid of love. You were guarding a door that got locked in a storm, doing exactly what it was built to do, for far longer than you ever needed it to. Understanding people like you is what still psychology is for. If you want more of it, subscribe, so the next video finds you right when you need it. The latch is old, the house is still warm, and the door was always yours to open. This is still psychology.